Hello, my name is Bart Reijnen. I'm in Airbus Defence and Space, responsible for what is called orbital systems and space exploration. So we are here today in a mock-up of the Columbus module. So these are the kind of activities where my team, located in Bremen, but also in Lemiro, in Friedrichshafen, and on different customer locations, we are working on a daily basis to please the scientists and to please ESA and the member states with regard to orbital systems and space exploration. Let's start on the short run. I mean, we have the ministerial conference of ESA at the end of the year, and already there we are taking important decisions with regard to the financing of the European contribution to the International Space Station. And Europe has committed to the other partners to engage in ISS up to 2020. But of course, saying as industry representative, I very much hope that Europe will finally commit beyond 2020, because we have the infrastructure up there and it makes a lot of sense to continue together with all the other partners to use ISS beyond 2020. This will be a decision not for the next ministerial in December, but let's say in 2016 latest, I would expect such a commitment, hopefully coming out of the European member states. This is important for what regards ISS. Then, of course, in terms of human spaceflight and bringing astronauts beyond the low Earth orbit, the question is, how do we go on there? I think with MPCV Orion, our cooperation program with NASA, we have set an important first step. But of course, it's now, what are the destinations? Flying to the moon, flying to an asteroid, on the way to Mars. These are important decisions to be taken between the European member states, but certainly together with the cooperating partners. In this case, on MPCV Orion, it's NASA, but on other topics, it can be Russian and other members, maybe even China at some point of time in future as well. We have to ask ourselves, how can we improve the access of Columbus for science at a cost level which is affordable for scientists and member states? So this question is our daily business, and we have to manage that, and that is what we are contributing with the teams on a daily basis out of Bremen. Second point is certainly with regard to exploration. We are running at the moment the MPCV Orion program, which is the multi-purpose crew vehicle, which is a vehicle meant to bring astronauts beyond low Earth orbit, to the moon, to an asteroid, on the way to Mars. A cooperating program between NASA and ESA, and Airbus Defence and Space is the prime contractor for what concerns the European service module. So we are steering the European supply chain and partners towards contributing of this service module to NASA. We want to bring humans further into the universe, further than we have ever gone before. This is clear. But there are certain tasks where astronauts can better fulfill these kind of missions than, at least at the moment, robots can still do. So this is certainly a purpose why we are doing this, although I must say that human spaceflight and robotic spaceflight will go more and more hand in hand in future. So certain missions it makes sense to use robots because they might be cheaper or easier to use in certain missions, but the level of flexibility which a human has, fortunately enough, compared to robots, is a clear advantage in certain missions, and we will continue to push that. This comes back to the curiosity of mankind. I mean, try to compare what happened centuries ago when Christopher Columbus and others tried to sail the world. I mean, it was, with the technology of those days, it was a huge endeavor. They were not dreaming yet about Moon or Mars, but the endeavor at that time was a huge one. And they did it because it was the curiosity of mankind to try and overcome these risks and to go there. And I think this is still one of the motivators why we are still doing human spaceflight. The effect it has on young people, on the young generation, that we are trying to solve difficult questions, that we can do that with human spaceflight. It's triggering the curiosity of the younger generation, and this I think is an argument as well not to be neglected. Look at the environment here. I'm not an astronaut, but you working in this complex environment where we have to solve these difficult challenges on a daily basis, with very complex products, with international cooperation, not only within Europe, but on a global basis. I mean, this is an environment which, at least on me, is extremely motivating, despite of the fact that I was not one of those who has grown up in the space business since the early days. I mean, I'm in space since 10 years, and this is still motivating me on a daily basis.